author and a hustler. That is his characterization of himself, a hustler from St. Louis, Missouri. And he says that he was much like many of us, grew up poor, broke, raggedy, no father, no home, no driver's license, no toothpaste. Are you going to fix this mic, you think? Try to see what you can do with it. But in the meantime, he did get some education at one of those universities in St. Louis. That was a Southern Illinois University. That was not in that was not in Missouri, was it? That was Illinois, Southern Illinois. Thank you very much. Is it working now? Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Give him a hand. He has written many books and a number of periodicals. Let me just name a few of the books that he has written. Some of them you will recognize by the title. Starting from the back of the bus, and those of you who are not old enough to remember at times when we had to ride from the back of the bus, but you know, we had an unusual perspective from that seat in the back of the bus. We could not see very well where we were going, but we knew where we had been. And he was one of those who decided, well, I've been there. I don't want to go back there anymore. I've been there. So from the back of the bus was one of his earlier books written back in 1960. Well, we had it written for a while. But he also has written What's Happening, The Shadow That Scares Me, Life Began, American History, Dick Gregory's Political Dreamer, Dick Gregory's Natural Diet for Folks Who Eat, from Mother Nature. I want you to know about those, for those who eat Mother Nature. He's well known for his Bohemian diet, and he is a living witness of the benefits of it. You would not know that he's 99 years old, would you? Not quite. I want you to know he embarrasses me. I sat down for breakfast this morning with him, and I had sausage, I had eggs, I had cheese, I had sweet rolls, and all that kind of stuff. And he sat there with a bottle of tangerine juice. Well,
better than Viagra.
Well, his diet might work better than mine because he's got 10 children. You know, there's so much to be said for tangerine and Viagra. Okay. Anyway, he has been on many television programs, many radio programs. He has been interviewed by newspapers and magazines all over the world. So actually, it is my privilege to introduce and present to you my very good friend, Dick Gregory, who and I go back to the early 60s. Yes. Let's welcome Dick Gregory.
Thank you. Thank you, praise God, that we've all made it here safely today. I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally as safe. We first say thanks to those of you who have made this day possible. My job is very easy. All I have to do is just produce a body. A lot of hard work goes into making this happen. So for those of you that's responsible for that hard work and this beauty, we say thank you. Secondly, for those of you who do the invisible, physical part of it. Somebody picked me up at the airport. Somebody showed up, gonna take me back. Chairs didn't just arrange themselves. The tables didn't come up with the mics. And unknown to most of us, after we leave out of here this evening, people who will never know their name will come in here and clean up behind us. So for those invisible people, we say thank you. And thirdly, for those of you who interrupted your evening to be with us, because had you not made that decision, the rest of it wouldn't matter. So to you and you and you, we say thank you. Been doing many things today, enjoying myself and having fun as always. Been ripping and running. Just finished a movie, so I wasn't able to celebrate my 50th wedding anniversary. So we're going to do it later. But I've been married 50 years, and love ain't got nothing to do with it. Our lady told me, if you ever leave me, I will hurt you. Hurt will keep a brother home for a long time. There's another word Michael Jordan just found out about when you start making big money. That's the other word is called half. I was telling my wife the other day, you know, I'm 76, she's 71, and people say, geez, you look so well. How do you know when you're getting old? You know when you're getting old when somebody compliments the beautiful alligator shoes you wearing and you barefoot. And now we have a black president, the burden is on you white folks to start surrounding yourself with some black folks that ain't gonna lie to you. And don't let nobody tell you there ain't no difference between black folks and white folks. That damn white woman in New York living with that damn king. Fixing wine for it. They take a bath together, they sleep together. Now together we call that a love affair. When that damn thing attacked that other woman there, that's called jealousy. That's a strange old animal, wasn't it? Police got there. Did you see John? He ran around to the driver's side of the police car and opened up that door. I'm surprised that cop didn't shoot himself. He got that gun out of the way. And the cop shot him twice. But he made it on back in the house and went up to that room where both of them slept and died there. Yeah, you white folks have a way with animals. But I tried to tell Michael Vick's lawyer that when it busted him. I said, you one of the most brilliant lawyers in the world, that ain't gonna help. He said, what do you mean? I said, white folks are kind of strange. They hire a nanny to change their baby's diaper, but walk their own dog and pick up the doo-doo. And now these white folks can't afford to feed the dog and themselves. They call them the animal shelter. Y'all been reading about animal shelters full all over the country. But the money for animal shelters is going up 1 hour. So I was telling a friend of mine, his sister called the animal shelter, it was full. She said, what are they doing together? I said, well, my brother in St. Louis, he had like 5 pit bulls. Now there's no way in the world you can believe in God and be that scared. I mean, he carried it to the deep end. I can understand, you know, because I'm a Christian, I can understand y'all having a gun and a Bible in the same house and don't know when you put the gun there, it cancels the Bible out. I can understand that because I came out of that ignorance. I go all over the world. Anywhere I go, I can recognize a hoe. But what is it about a hoe? I can recognize her, but if you don't tell me a Christian, I wouldn't know you won. I can't recognize you as a Christian like I can recognize a hoe being a hoe. And then when y'all figure that out, you might understand what's wrong with America. Somewhere. explained it to my white friend that, can y'all hear the mic still on? I explained to my white friend that the way we deal with dogs, like my brother had 5 pit bulls. He couldn't afford to feed them no more. He big time, brother. He made so much money, he stopped liking everybody. And then Enron failed, he stopped, went down to nothing. Now he calling me, if I could repossess my car, what must I do? Don't park in front of the house. I don't know when Christians going to realize fear and God don't occupy the same space. I first married my wife Lillian. She was worried about debt. When we going to pay this robot? Dear, you act like we got some money. We don't have no money. So when I get me some money, this robot is not my first priority. They knew I was going to pay for that stuff when I got it. So she defends the white folks. How did they know? I said, on the back of the application, they said, who going to pay for this? I said, your mama. And then 2 weeks later, I told my lady, lose her mind. She said, they did it. What you look here? Here's a letter, 6 months of final notice. I read it, final notice. Huh? Thank God we won't be hearing from her no more. I don't understand how y'all can believe in a God and can let little petty stuff by. Be cool. And you black people, let's stop getting all emotions, getting all mad, but do nothing. I wish some of you white folks would come invisible and follow some of you black folks and hear some of the stuff they just said. But never to your face. Y'all should love a Negro like me, but I'm honest. I'll stand here and say, I blame everything on white folks. I know you're not guilty, but most of it you are. If I woke up this morning with a hemorrhoid, I'd say, white folk did it. Now I will be saying some things about white folks tonight. Don't get upset with it. I can guarantee you, I'm not talking about you. See, I advocated it for about 400 or 500 white folks on the planet. And the rest of y'all is imposters. White has nothing to do with a color. It's an attitude. And if you ain't got some trillions of dollars in the bank that you don't need, you can't have the attitude. And I feel sorry for you ordinary white folks, because us black folks done mess you up, because we mad at the wrong white folks. White folks you mad at couldn't help you if they liked you. They stand in that unemployment line like you. I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth type white folks. Now them bees my type of white folks. Queen Elizabeth made $360 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. Now them be white folks. And I like them type of white folks because they ain't godly, they ain't spiritual, they're a bunch of unethical dogs, but they honest. They say we're going to war to protect our interests. The other thing I like about you ordinary white folks is built in your subconscious mind who you can mess with and who you can't mess with. Oh, you be acting like you free and this and that. I was looking at that sister. Thought I had clipped out the paper, had a picture of her. I like to look at her every day when I wake up. One that had them 8 babies. I like it. Well, And they told me Mary was a virgin. She didn't have no sex. She produced one boy. And I'd get up and pray to her every morning. And I didn't know till I was reading in the paper about her. Say she ain't had sex in 8 years. She had 6 babies, then she had 8. She got 14. So I said, if Mary didn't have no sex and got 1, and she ain't got no sex and got 14, I'm going to start praying to her. And then to show you where you are and the people you know, y'all attack her, but not the filthy doctor. You know if you cut your finger and go to hospital tonight, it costs you thousands of dollars. Where that wench get that kind of money? But that don't bother you. She getting death threats. Y'all know that? Huh? Poor OJ. The judge gave him 30 years for stealing his own stuff. One thing about Vegas, they don't lie. They say what happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas. Oh, he in jail now. 30 years. The white boy Madoff that ripped off $50 billion from white folks, he ain't done a day in jail. He's sitting up in his house now with better luxuries than y'all will go home to. They giving her death threat. I dare one of y'all to call Madoff tonight and threaten to kill him before you hang up the phone. The FBI will be arrested you. There's certain people you can mess with that have no power, and there's certain ones you can't, and you tolerate them. Huh? The old thug president sent your children to war for no reason at all. You call yourself killing people over a lie, and you ain't straightened that out yet. And you know you better not touch it because you'll die. You know that. In your subconscious mind, you know that. This is America. I'm sitting there reading this article. This woman, where was she in? In Ohio. Y'all see this stuff? She had pleaded guilty. She exorcised her husband until he died. Y'all see that? I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. In Ohio. Put him in and said, keep going. He tried to keep going. The gorilla was eating one and she was killing one. Here's what they say. Guilty in bizarre slaying by wife. 41 years old. She pleaded guilty last week for reckless homicide in the death of her husband, 73 years old, and could receive 5 years in jail. She pleaded guilty to murder. OJ is in jail for stealing his own. That don't bother you? No, you ain't gonna do a damn thing about it. Because it's OJ today, it'd be you tomorrow, and it make no difference what color you are. Because if you ain't got no money, you have no power. America's a beautiful. Don't want to change nothing. This old Nazi Pope, I hope you Catholics don't get upset. But if you didn't get upset when that last Pope, John Paul, the first Polish Pope, when he became Pope, 1.5 million white folks left the church. Tell me about your church and your Christianity. A black hoe walked into the whole house, white folks ain't gonna leave but a Pope. And y'all don't know what's wrong?
You don't know why you look good. Go all over the world and look at old folks, and none of them look as ugly and as wrinkled and as messed up as you are. That's what that stuff do inside of God's body. It's a rumble that you have no control. Y'all go on and play your game, but you better play them fast. Especially you black folks. We black folks in America handle more money than most white folks on this planet. And you go to any third world nation, fourth world nation, and we black folks in America outguy them 1,000 to 1. Because there's a universal God that said it ain't about money. You go to these schools and learn how to make a living, but God said, if you don't know how to live, I'll take you out of here. Games. Somewhere. So this old Nazi Pope now. 35 years ago, they had 5 bishops. The Catholic Church that said the Holocaust didn't happen. Y'all know that? And the Pope excommunicated. Huh? This thug, 2 weeks ago, brought him back into the church, and my Jewish friends ain't said nothing. But if that had been Jesse Jackson, they'd have ran his ass out of town. You know who you can mess with and who you can't mess with. Somewhere. These old powerful universities, they got black folks and white folks and athletics that can't read and write. And you know it, but you better not mess with it. University of Texas, right now, while we sitting here, their annual football budget is $100 million a year. Huh? But you try to get a wheelchair for a crippled student here. Somewhere. So there is a difference. Don't even be worried about the money thing. Everybody ain't broke. And I got some black cousins in St. Louis. They ain't never had no job. And they around crying. That one nigga talking about committing suicide. I said, why? Well, look at the stock. You don't even know what a stock market is. He's so ignorant, he thinks Dow Jones is a brother. The games. I read about $1,000 worth of newspapers every 12 days, not because I trust them, I just look for the crack in the fabric. Wall Street Journal, Saturday, Sunday, that's the weekend edition. January 24th, 25th, 2009. Big old front page headline under shopping. They just came out with a new recession suit in Italy, $43,000 a suit. $43,000. This was just this January. And my son was coming back from South Africa the other day, and I said, stop out there and just go in and talk about them suits, but look like you want to buy them. That's what's wrong with you black folks. Y'all go in looking like you ain't got nothing. She just walk in and don't walk in talking about, yo, do like you want to, hey there, thumbs up, that's what I thumbs up, baby! Go to the damn bank, talking about you broke. White boy go a year in advance, talking about I got a cash flow problem. Y'all remember reading where they said they had the worst form of cancer you could have? My son, the chiropractor. So he called me because I said, well, hey, man, I don't know what it is, but, you know, the day you took these pictures looking for my hernias, I just walked 10 miles that day, so whatever it is, I ain't had it that long. So he sent it to John Hopkins, a friend of mine said, man, we don't know what this is. So I said to my son, don't worry, just send it to the Armed Force Institute of Pathology. They'll put my name on it. So it came back and said that not only strange type of cancer, it's the type of cancer you get working in a nuclear plant. So when's the last time I've been in a nuclear plant? Don't nobody own nuclear plants, but the government, it's obvious they came to me. So I said to my son, don't show this report to your mother until after your sister get married. So after it was over, I gave her the report. He said, how did they do this to you? I mean, you crazy? You think I'm leaving you back here for your high school sweetheart? You better get out this room and come back with a smile on your face. And she been smiling ever since. I said, I'm going to leave. I live on this farm, so I went out there and said my little prayer. And I talk to God different than most folks. I talk to God the same way my children talk to me. They want to tell me something. They don't have to get clean. They don't have to go through no rituals. Hey, Pop, got something to tell you. That's the way I feel about God. Y'all be going through all the Lord's Prayer and this and that, and they want to talk about your sugar diabetes and wake up in the morning, your ankles be bigger than they was before you went to bed. What God you talking to? There is a God. And prayers are real, but when you pray and nothing happens, you be rationalizing. What's your name, brother? Melvin. Well, if you own the biggest bank in America, you know what I mean? And this is your son. He owns a little bank. I've been knowing you all my life. Why would I go to your son at the little bank to request something when I know you? I don't have no problem with Jesus and Christianity. Why am I going to Jesus when I know God? I don't deny that's his son. I don't deny I'm going to the boss. Because when I go there, you don't even make me fill out an application. You understand? You so full of love when I don't even pay your money back. You ain't even, matter of fact, you give me another when I come. That's what love is. So I took my cancer to God. I said, hey, boss, I know you've been busy. I know you got a whole universe to deal with. I know probably something going on Pluto. I want to tell you one thing, God. There's a whole lot of Negroes out here that deserve cancer, but I'm not one of them. Now, I know you're busy. If you need me to write down 12 black folks' names, I will do that. And if you want something close to the house, I can handle that. I got 10 children. I don't like them all. I do what a father's supposed to. I take care of them. I can go to the best school, whatever they want. I don't have to like them. And then I talked to cancer. Cancer? This is God's body. I'm giving you 72 hours to get out. I'm going to roll on you. And I meant that. 3 days later, Dr. Christopher called me. Never knew it. Said, I heard the radio and TV, you have one of the strangest forms of cancer. Said, there's some water in El Salvador. It comes off a mountain. They can inject that into you once a day for 5 days and everything will be gone. So one of my top researchers, Steve Jaffe, his father, you oncologist, I know this, Richard Jaffe invented nuclear medicine at Cedars-Sinai. His son's my bosom friend. He showed the report to his dad, 90-something years old, retired. Father called me and said, Feel like, well, I feel good. He said, well, you know, Steve called me. You didn't mind. No, I'm getting ready to call you. I need a cosign. So he said, well, you need to go see Keith Black, #1 brilliant new resurgent on the planet. Black man. I see the Sinai. Well, okay, I had to come out there anyway, so I go and they give me the test. Nuclear medicine. And see, white folks, real white folks are different. They don't ask you about no money. They send the stuff to the house. But you can't go in there acting like you colored or poor white. I just walked in there, hey, what's going on, baby? And you, oh, don't act like you're gonna die. So I get in that tube and I go through that stuff, and they sent the bill to the house, $1.5 million. My wife said, what? They didn't actually know? No, I just walked in like I was going to pay them. Then what we going to do? I said, call them, tell them to repossess it. I don't understand you black folk white. You ain't got nothing. You always getting uptight. You ain't got a damn thing. You ain't got no choice but to be in the God. You ain't got enough nerve to steal. My damn cousin, he ain't nothing but a thug. When that plane crashed in Buffalo, he's trying to get out there to try to get on the plane so he'd be covered with the insurance. I said, they're all dead. Don't go. So I went to El Salvador, came back, went to see Keith Black. They put me through that shoot again. He said, I don't know where you've been, but we need to close down and follow you. It's a game they play. You know, y'all got to do is stop being scared. Huh? All that meanness you got, if that don't scare you. All that craziness, if that don't scare you. Somewhere. Easy to get mad at poor folks. You got no power. That little white girl walked up to me. I was at the airport. She and her mama was waving. I'm waving at her, you know. That little white girl, couldn't be no more than 5 years old, walked up to me and said, Mister, do you have a tail? I said, yeah, tell your mama mine's in the front. It don't make sense to get mad at no 5-year-old child. Y'all always be uptight. And somebody with some power will say something to you, you say, what'd you say, like you didn't hear? Oh, I got my Rolls Royce the first time. I got that big one. I was zooming, man. I was hauling. I was little bitty old redneck county. I'm doing 140. That cop jumped out them bushes and caught me, and I'm smiling when I pull over. He said, what you laughing about? I said, I'm down Rolls Royce doing 140. That little raggedy thing catch me. Then he had a look on his face. So I asked the cop, you all right? He said, no, I got a problem. I said, what's the problem? Yeah. I've been a state trooper for 35 years. Tonight is my birthday. And the state troopers and my wife is throwing me a surprise birthday party at midnight. And I know I'd be 30 minutes late because I don't get off till midnight. I said, but I'm a real cop. Said, now I got a problem in this rural area. In order to book you, I got to take you 40 miles down to the station. I mean, I missed the party because it take me 3 hours to write this. Now, I can't let you just go. Because that type of speed, you endanger to the people of the state. But my wife do want to see me. So like I said, I've been a state trooper for 35 years. I've heard every kind of excuse you can hear. But I'm fighting to save my party. If you can just give me any excuse that I've never heard, I'll let you go. See, when you're scared, your energy don't flow. I said, well, brother, 35 years ago, a white state trooper ran off with my black wife. When I looked through that rearview mirror, I thought you was bringing her back. Fear and anger, all that stuff don't work. I got a little cousin I finally taught that to. He used to always get mad. Honky this and honk. Oh, man, come on, please. So he called me one day and said, man, that stuff really works, man. I said, what do you mean? He said, man, this redneck cop pulled me over. I said, all right, you know the routine. Registration. So he said, well, I just want you to know registration's in the glove compartment. And he didn't know he's talking to a rookie cop, just finished state super school. Now, what most of all don't know, you cops in here know that when you join the police force, the first 5 years, you ain't no real cop. And you know, take you 5 years to shake down and, you know the stuff. You know, like all them people back home can't read or write. Your neighbor, they know you in college, but they don't know you're drinking beer and doing all kind of crazy. And some of you flunking out. They just know, oh, stay in college. It'd be hard for you to tell them, this big university, their damn mics don't work. They're going to train you to be a nuclear physicist or a brain surgeon. So he called me and said, man, your stuff really worked, man. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's... And like I said, when the guy finished state trooper school, they told him, say, you know, take you 5 years before you can be a seasoned cop and understand stuff. He said, but while you're out there on the highway, if you pull somebody over and it look like it's serious, don't try to do nothing. Just call in the headquarters. Don't even handcuff them. Just put your gun on their head and make them put their hands up on the dashboard and keep them there. So when he pulled my cousin over, my cousin said, well, you know, the registration is in the glove compartment, and I got a fully loaded automatic. And in the trunk, there's the body of 2 dead white men. A man called headquarters. Hey, man, this is Murph. We got one. And we put all points to bull. Now we be there. Don't do nothing. Just put your gun on him. It's about 6 minutes. 35 cop cars showed up. White boy walked up to him there. John, where you walk? Got a boy, Murph. Pull him out of there. They pulled him out. Then just handcuffed him. Put them shackles on him. And then them chains around him. Old supervisor went in, looked at the glove compartment. He didn't see nothing. Opened up the trunk. Ain't nothing in there. He walked up to Cuz. He said, excuse me, maybe you can help me. He said, we got the call that you had a fully loaded automatic pistol in the glove compartment. And you had the body of 2 dead white men in the trunk. And there's nothing there. How do you explain it? He said, I guess he told you I was speeding too, huh? And do you realize who you are? All that old trickery stuff If you look at all the Bibles on the planet, they all talk about one thing that God's responsible for: wisdom. This thug, the same one that ripped off the money, he changed it to smart and intelligent, something that he can test you on and something that he can grade. If he could grade wisdom, he'd build a pyramid. And y'all all jumping over there into that other thing. Just leave it alone. Mr. Gregory, how you feel about them? All these homes being repossessed. I lost my house when times was good. And they repossessed my Rolls Royce while I was in it. And you got to stop lying, telling these children to lie to them bill collectors. I tell them I'm not here. You tell a child to lie for you, one day they'll lie to you. I just go right to the phone. Yeah, Dick Gregory, this is Dick. No, this ain't you. See, they've been trained you're going to say you're not there. So when you say they're there, they don't know what to do. I said I'm Dick Gregory. So now you go back to the manual, look up, what do you say when they say they're there? You say, this is not you. I said, well, how old are you? He said, I'm 22. I said, I've been owing this company this money for 38 years. Before you was born, what makes you think you gonna collect it in your lifetime? Y'all be home all nervous. Bill collectors call you. They probably ain't even in the same country. Over there in India, they didn't outsource that. And you can tell when they got from another country, they can't remember two names in English. So they say, is Richard there? I said, yes. Well, we calling about the, oh, where are you? I'll bring you the money now. They're in New Delhi. Just don't have no imagination. You get all uptight. And all you folks with the good credit, especially you black folks, you've been teaching, don't pay cash. You got to build up a good credit. Now, y'all in trouble. You ain't missed a bill. You should have known something. See, you white folks, you don't listen to them black radio stations. For 50 years, them white folks have them advertisers for black folks with bad credit. Hey there, dude. Can't get a car? Ain't got no license? Can't read or write? Call Slick Willie. We have you rolling by tomorrow. And they roll out of there. You hear this advertising now for people with bad credit. Anybody give a damn about you with no good credit? Hey there, credit good? Come on down, we get you 2 for 1. They don't care nothing about you. And these black folks trying to be all, well, I know what you're talking about, but they charging you 48% interest. It don't make no difference when it's 20 below zero out there. And when you ride by, you ain't going to pick me up. So I got me a damn car, 20 below zero, 42% interest. I don't care because I ain't going to pay for it anyway. Somewhere. Just drop your fear. And these youngsters, I don't know why you black folks, you young black folks, y'all ought to stop listening. You old black folks. And I'm old, so I ain't lying on them. There's some old black folks up there talking about, I don't know what's wrong with these young ones. When we was their age, we didn't have to lock no doors. You didn't have nothing. I was so poor and hungry and ragged when I was a child. Halloween was the best day we had. You could wear your clothes and everybody thought you was dressed for the occasion. Ooh, look at Richard, got on shoes, look just like feet. looking at television, getting all scared. I got a cousin in Kansas City. He be looking at them crime stores. He got 27 locks on the door and ain't got a damn thing in the house. I said, boy, if somebody broke in here, they would leave something. House so small, he stuck the key in the door one day and stabbed 12 people. They was in the backyard. And you white folks, you need to listen to black folks. Because sometimes they be talking about you. Black on black crime. You ever ask black folks what black on black crime? Say, well, we just tired of black folks killing black folks. Now, they didn't say they're tired of black folks killing. They're tired of killing black folks. Then who be left, white folks? You crazy? Who do you think killing Chinese in China tonight? And who do you think killing Italians in Italy tonight? And if 98% of white folks that was murdered in America last year was murdered by white folks, if they ain't talking about white on white crime, why you stupid enough talking about black on black crime? You kill where you live, fool. And if you don't like black folk killing black folks, then join the Urban League, the NAACP, STLC, get with Jesse Jackson, and then we just get out here and work to integrate this country. And I guarantee you, if I'm living over in this white suburban neighborhood, and my old lady make me mad enough to want to shoot somebody, I'm not getting in my car and drive back to the ghetto. I live out in this white, way out. My neighbor across the pond from me is Amway's Piano Air. Up the hill is Ocean Spray. I'm not going to live in no ghetto. I'll die for you. I'll come back. I'll march with you. I'll fight to liberate you. I don't have no bodyguards. I don't need no entourage. I'm listed in the phone book. I'm not scared of black folk. I was in the ghetto 2 weeks ago in Kansas City. See all these black brothers and say, my man. He said, put them both up, nigga. This is a stick up. Things moving fast. The sweetest thing got real bad. Well, I guess y'all heard the news today where they just fined the Swedish government $817 million for covering up Americans' money so they don't have to pay income tax. So it was today's USA Today. Swedish bank admit to helping U.S. tax evaders. There's about 19,000 wealthy Americans, so they fined them yesterday $780 million. And they also agreed, listen to this, the Swiss banks agreed wealthy American clients evade U.S. interest and said it would disclose the identity of some of them. The damn thing you're going to do about it. What do you mean some of them? Some of them too big to be messed with. And you tolerate it. And so I say thanks to you all who put this together. I'll be back. Y'all bring me back here for this about every 4 years, so I'll bring my own mic next time. To you young folks in the house that's not aware that before there was Black History Month, there was Negro History Week. So we go from a week to a month. That's progress. Wouldn't you know, when they give us a month, it'd be that month of February with all them damn days missing. I didn't think they was going to give us a 31-day, but February? Most black folks I know, we don't even like February. What's a damn groundhog? February the 2nd, if the groundhog sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. Well, you white folk can get by with anything. You know, spring is March the 21st. Are you aware that from February the 2nd to March the 21st is 6 weeks? I was in New York this February the 2nd. On a radio show, the white boy was happy. He said, Mr. Gregory, my man, Mr. Gregory, today's Groundhog Day. What do you think will happen today if the groundhog sees his child? I said, back up. I don't play that. Oh, he got upset. What do you mean? You anti-Sioux? You anti-American? I didn't know you feel that way. Ask me again, I'll play it. Say, today is Groundhog Day. What do you think will happen if the groundhog sees his shadow today, boy? I say 6 more weeks of winter, sir. But since we're going to play it, let's keep on playing it. Suppose that groundhog come out today and don't see no groundhogs. See 5 black dudes. What do you think that means? He said, I don't know, sir. 6 more weeks of basketball. Then we moved from February the 2nd to February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Now, the white folk, I try to make believe for a few minutes that there ain't no difference between black folks and white. There's some difference. And I think what we black folks need to do is one of the things we need to do for entrepreneurship. We need to open up some greeting card companies. Because it don't cost that much. You don't need that much investment. Now, I'm not stupid enough to say that Hallmark don't know how to make the best greeting card in the world. But Hallmark has never been able to capture that ghetto vibration. You know what I'm talking about? The crow dark sings as sweetly as the lark when neither are attended. Nigga, do you love me or not? Black greeting card, just something simple. I ain't gonna do it no more. Give me another chance, baby. I know what you're thinking, but she hit on me first. Oh, this thing's moving. Oh, if you white folk could just be around us and know how silly we are. Now white folk got us upset over the word nigger. But I went to see Denzel Washington in the American Gangster. Hollywood had made all kind of movies. John Dillinger, Al Capone, Godfather, and they never put American in front of the name until it comes my turn. And y'all don't see through that. Because if all y'all was Russians today looking at the American gangster about that black thug, you would think all gangsters in America look like us. Why wouldn't you? And y'all know the one he played is still alive. Get with that. You know he in New York on disability. So what kind of gangster was he? And you saw them Italian mob boys downtown. Oh, they talked about them niggas like they were, but they never used the word nigger. You saw them black pimp thugs in Harlem running that dough. They never said nigga. The only person that movie said nigga was Ruby Dee. And y'all tolerate that. I've been married to a black woman for 50 years. I never heard her say nigga. And 98% of black women I know don't use the word. Nigga is a man thing, which means it's a sex thing. And you worried about nigga, something you can't never be. Black folks, If I say, "Oh, you hoes," and he'll stand up, you get upset. "You're a hoe. I didn't call your name." You know how many white folks in this room tonight is not even aware that there's some black folks sitting in this room tonight? Huh? In this room tonight. That if your son or daughter, or grandson or daughter brought a Negro home as dark as me, some of y'all would have problems with it. But we don't want to talk about that yellow thing. Huh? The Mardi Gras is fixing to start. Today in New Orleans, they got brown bag parties. That you walk in, if you're darker than the bag, you can't come in. Black folks, you don't want to deal with that. You're going to deal with something you can't even be. Before Black History Month's over, I wish you black folks would get an orange. A bunch of them, take them home and squeeze them. Would you do that for me? You live with somebody at home, your mother, your father, you got a sister or brother? Where you from? Well, you got sisters and brothers out there? Well, go out there. And here's all I want you to do. When you squeeze the orange, what's going to come out of it? Juice. Juice, right? Out of that comes juice. So you keep squeezing till you get a pitcher full, right? And then you throw it on your brother or sister. Huh? And just because they got orange juice on them, they not an orange. Huh? If they leave it on them all day, if they smell it, they're not orange. The orange juice come from the orange. So the nigger is the one that said it. You can never be a nigger no more than you can be orange juice just because I threw orange juice on you. What kind of fool is you? The games. Can you imagine my Jewish brothers and sisters stupid enough to let some Germans get upset over what Hitler and them Nazis did to change the word concentration camp to the C word and swastika to the S word, and they falling for that? If I sold you a product that said USA, it means it came from where? United States? If I sold you a product that said USSR, it came from where? Russia? N-word is nigger. N-word is the designated hitter for nigger, and you go for that crap. We are mature enough that you don't have to hide your filth. Huh? We told our gay brothers and sisters down through the years when they couldn't be cops, when they couldn't get jobs, when people be jumping on them, come out the closet, stop hiding it. And once they stop hiding it, they make movies about them and love scenes and all that. How is it good for everybody else to come out the closet, but nigga got to go back in and you don't see through that? It's a game. And so somewhere when we stop and think about where we living and where we going, thank you, NAACP, 100 years. Huh? 100 years. There's been no movement in the history of the planet, including Jesus Christ, and the reason because Jesus Christ's stuff wasn't captured. Ours is not hearsay. My poor black mama. You can't be a better Christian than her. She came in here tonight and you told her Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian. She'd stomp you to death. Because so ignorant, she didn't know Christianity didn't start till 100 years, till after he was born. And nothing was written about him for 100 years. Most Christians I know don't even know his brother James was killed the same way he was killed. Huh? Somewhere. So I'm going to the Mardi Gras. I don't know if y'all been there. It's the biggest Christian festivity on the planet. It's the only Christian festivity where whores come in from all over the world to help us celebrate. Matter of fact, the only time a New Orleans cop can't take off is during the Mardi Gras when the Christians are there. You know, on Fat Tuesday, we Christians eat anything moving. You know, Ash Wednesday, we'll tap our head with an ash and then go fake a prayer for 40 days. That's why I don't go to church with y'all no more. on Easter. I'm tired of hearing y'all. Were you there when they crucified the Lord? What a cheap song to sing 2,000 years later. You wasn't there then, and most of you wouldn't be there now. How do I know? Because many of you for capital punishment. How can you cry over the crucifixion of Christ, but be for capital punishment? Are you too ignorant to know the state killed Christ? That was a capital killing. Huh? Christ wasn't run down by some drunken chariot driver. He was killed by the state, which means if Jesus Christ came back to America today and bugged the wrong white folk, they'd give him an electric chair. Then all us Christians be walking around with big chairs around our neck. How do you make the sign of the chair? I've been mad 50 years thanks to the civil rights movement, because it was folks I was hanging out and marching with, some decent human folks. I found out it ain't about love, it's can you be lovable. And when you lovable, I'm safe with you and you safe with me. I love you, baby. If I can't have you, ain't nobody gonna have you. Something wrong with that, ain't it? How long? Thank you, Dr. King. Oh, NAACP. Boy, have we come. And I can stand and tell you, I don't need to be validated, that no movement in the history of this planet have ever made the progress that black folks have made in 45 years, in spite of black folks and white folks lying to one another. "45 years ago, me and my wife, we running down Mississippi with our life. We knew we would die, but we went anyway. Black men worrying about your family. You ain't going to be in the movement, but you let this white boy send you all the way around the world killing people you don't even know and don't ask about your family. And then come home all crippled and broke and put you in some old ratty hospital, but for the liberation of your people and freeing folks. What kind of fool is you? Well, I thought I would die in Mississippi, but I went there and I found out there's something worse than dying is disgrace. And there's a real God for us. When you black folks sit around and let another human being reduce you below the level that God gave you, then God takes your grace away and you live in disgrace. That's why you're so sick and walk around with them evil looks on your face. White folks don't see you because you laugh when you're around them. But they need to come through the ghetto. Nigga be evil till that white cop tell, "Hey, brother, how you feeling?" And maybe when you learn to laugh and smile, you can throw your medicine away. Huh? You could recognize God. If God came in this room, it would be happy and smiling. Some of y'all need to just go home and sit in a mirror for a week and look at that. You can't get no more beautiful than you are when you get that ugliness off of you. Mad at me, mad at her, because you ain't going to do nothing to a white racist system. I think about all you black folks and carried your children to Disneyland to see a rat. But ain't stopped by to see Dr. Martin Luther King's grave, and you wouldn't be welcome in Orlando had he not died. What kind of fool is you? 3 million people visit King's grave every year, and 1 million fly from Japan to see it. And you sitting here benefiting by it. Yes. Never sent Coretta a letter. She died from a broken heart. She died from grief. And you didn't have to know her address. She got so big, all you had to do is say, Coretta King somewhere in America, and she'd get the letter. You didn't even do that. And then got these white folks thinking you so this and you are going to ride in on Obama's coattail. I said in the interview in Tokyo 4 years ago, they said, you think there'll ever be a black president? I said, yeah, in 4 years to be a black president. So when I went over there a couple weeks ago, they said, how'd you know? I said, well, white folks had 4 movies showing black men as president, and all of them was dark. The TV show 24, black man, assassinated by the Secretary of State. This boy really better watch Hillary. Oh, I'm so glad for you white folks that if you had to have a Negro, you got him. Because I would, y'all be upset with me. First thing I would have done after I got sworn in was went to the White House and dug up that rose garden and planted me a watermelon patch. And then the second thing, I'd have got me about 400 tanks. You know, I am in charge of the Army now, the Air Force. It's mine. I got me about 400 or 500 tanks and went to New York and hold a press conference. There's no way I'm going to be the most powerful human being on the world and an uneducated, redneck, nigger-hating cab driver and some black folk going to pass me by in a cab. A wino white boy in jail on death row, I can take him out and stand him next to Obama by themselves, and a cab driver run over him trying to get to the white boy. And he called himself the most powerful man ever, not me. I said, all cab drivers, look at me, I'm the president, look at him saying, you ride past me, it's over. Then I'd have got back, then put my cabinet together. And you black folks really be mad at me. Because nobody that can read or write or finish the 3rd grade could be in my cabinet. Well, if all these white boys with all these degrees and went to some of the best schools in the world, if they messed the country up this bad, I'm going to try something new. My cousin in Kansas City, Jabbo Jones. He'd be my Secretary of Defense. Now see these white folks now, 60 Minutes. Now Jabbo, what are you planning on doing about defense? Well, first I'm going to fix it, then paint it. Oh, little Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice had more doctor's degree than Bush's whole cabinet. You may call that wench Condi, and that didn't bother y'all. You know it didn't bother her. They never called Madeleine Albright Maddie. They never called Janet Reno Janet. And they got a soda pop blacker than her. They called Dr. Pepper. Y'all just take all kind of insults just because it's supposed to be some high position. Anytime you go along with injustice, black folks, you become unjust. Anytime you peacefully exist with filth, you become filthy. And you young folks that ain't never been past a paper mill, go buy one. And once you've been there so long, you don't smell the stink. You black folk been with this filth for so long, you don't smell nothing. Somewhere. We left y'all a mess to clean up, you young folks. Ask me, did you, were you surprised when Obama become president? You know, white folk, you don't have to answer white folk questions just because they ask you. You don't answer me when I ask you. You be my co-signer. Act like you didn't even hear me. Well, Obama and Jeremiah Wright, he stayed in the church too long. What do you think about that, Mr. Gregory? Well, I just don't know why y'all change the rules when it's my turn. What do you mean? Well, these Catholic priests, then damn near bankrupted the Catholic Church, ripping off these little boys' booty for 100 years, and I didn't notice where no priests and nuns was leaving the Catholic Church. Why, when it come my turn, I got to leave? Hillary, I don't know why he stayed there. Shut up, Hillary. The old man got caught in the White House with his zipper down, with that little old young girl doing all kind of things. I noticed you didn't leave him. He embarrassed and humiliated you, plus the whole country, all over the world. You stayed, but my turn, it got to be different. How long? Thank you, Obama. A friend of mine called me, said, man, my grandmother loved you, man. She's 108. She want me to come to Nashville, me, to register her. So I go down there and say, well, come you didn't let your son register? Well, I know he would have, but this is special for me, and I love you. I'm 108 years old. I won't live to see another election. And I never voted before. I just want you to register me so I can vote for Obama before I die. Huh? What a beauty. So I'm telling these folks, we out there for 100 years, and I've been out there 50-some years. We wasn't out there with our life, running with good white folks, getting shot at and killed, having my churches burned, to get some black person in the White House. We was out there fighting that the least of you wouldn't be humiliated because you had to go to a separate toilet or a separate restaurant. That's what this movement was about. We wasn't out there so some nigga could be president of Harvard, Yale, or Michigan State. We was fighting for the right that anybody qualified could get in them. And if out of that comes the president, huh? Wasn't fighting for the right for president. We fighting for the right that when you're in an automobile accident and because you colored, they pass by 20 miles of hospitals to take you to the Negro hospital. That's what we was fighting for. And with Obama, we won before he was elected. You let them listen to him, they say, they never said this nigga smart or brilliant. Oh, he speaks good. California got a governor, can't even pronounce the state. But once you get in love with good speaking, I met my son and a couple of friends in Italy 2 months ago, and we checked in the hotel over there, $18,000 a room. They didn't have no problem understanding what I was saying. But it's a game y'all play. Somewhere. He did 3 debates with John McCain. And you know, you white folks so funny. That plane crashed in New York. And white folk maneuvered to the Hudson, and you white folk make him a hero. He was on the plane. He's trying to save his ass. How he get to be a hero? I mean, we sitting in this room and a plane crash over there, and we run out of here and jump in. We heroes. He's trying to get home to his old lady. John McCain, a war hero. How can he be a war hero, white folk, when he got captured? Y'all know he didn't get shot down, don't you? How many of y'all know that? He was so dumb and he did something in the plane crash. He lived with the enemy for 5 years. Now he come back talking about he a hero. I was in the army 3 days. I'm a hero. 3 days in the army. Captain had 50,000 of us in the field. So if any of you troopers get captured by the enemy, give up nothing, name, rank, and seal number. Y'all understand? And 50,000 people say they understand. You know how humiliating it is to raise your hand and be the only one that didn't understand? And you black folk have to stop trying to act all intelligent when you ask the white folk. I just try to be, I said, Gumi, sir, did you say if I get capped by Emmy, give number, my name, rank, seal number? Yes, boy, that's what I said. You ladies, you know about dog tags? You know, in your dog tag, they have your name, rank, and seal number on it, which means the enemy could get that much information if he was dead. No, y'all got to give me something to negotiate with. Well, you un-American. You no, I'd have been un-American, unpatriotic had I not told you. This is my 3rd day in the military. So what y'all do, y'all put on Dick Gregory's records at the Pentagon. If Dick Gregory get caught, y'all change all your used-to-be records. All your secrets. Well, if something about a dude pouring hot water down my back and snatching my fingernails off and sticking pins in my eyeballs, I tell him where my mama is. You don't understand that? When that hot water hit her back, she'll know it. But they had 3 debates with McCain. 90 minutes. It was the first time most white folk got to see a black person talk for an hour and a half without a football, without a javelin, or out running Jesus with a basketball. That will never change. I can close my eye and look at you black folks. When I close them, all y'all look like Obama. None of y'all look like Shaq to me. All at once. No longer will our defining moment be through the eyes of an athlete or entertainer. All right. People in this room, this brother, done more for human rights and human rights than 99% of the black athletes, and I don't know what day y'all gonna get tired of supplying gladiators for a white racist system. Go to these ratty schools, and long as they can make all American, they don't have to change nothing. Y'all here, you know, these niggas walk down campus, don't even speak to you. When they do, they want some booty. And y'all tolerate it. Something wrong. Thank you, Obama. Somewhere. Things moving fast. Did they ever think I'd live to see the day that this thing would change so fast? I remember Mississippi when I was running for my life. Me and Ed Weinberger, he's the one, the richest cat in Hollywood now. When I got it, he's just a white boy, couldn't write. And I said, you hang with me, I'll show you what humor and joy is. And if Bill Cosby's made $1 billion, Ed's made 10. And next time you look at the Bill Cosby show, you'll see created by Ed Weinberger. That was my man. And everywhere I went, he went. You don't work for me, boy. You work with me. If I go down there, you go. When I checked in a hotel and got a suite here, got a suite in the black writer, Jim Sanders. If I rented a Cadillac, I rented one for them. We work together, we live together, we die together. But I'll be honest, one time we in Mississippi running, and I said, Ed, I think these plans running after you. I keep hearing them say, nigger lover. So when we get to the corner, you go that way. Running for our life. Did I know 40 years ago I'd be able to stand here and tell you, as we sit here tonight, a black man's head of the Mississippi State Troopers, a black woman's head of the Mississippi Social Services, for a white woman to get unemployment or welfare, she got to go to the system. And we did that without guns. We did that without bullets. We did that without being nasty. Look at this brother here. You don't have to see you looking. You see love. You don't see no bitterness. Nobody walk around angry, mad at white folks, but you punk black folks that ain't gonna do a damn thing to liberate yourself. And you mad at everybody. Somewhere. I don't know what it is about you black folks. It's in your genes that you, all the black folks that kick that door, you talk about them like dog. Jesse Jackson. I know Jesse better than I know this stuff Jesse done. You don't. You just mad at it. I don't hear y'all talking about the mob. I don't hear y'all talking about these niggas on the corner selling dope. Every black person that come out to liberate you, you badmouth. Thank God we don't give a damn about you. Thank God we know some white folks that put more into your liberation than you ever would. And then you got nervous about them honky. You the honky, nigga. You ain't gonna come out to liberate and talk about your grandchildren and all that crap. I was there. Did I ever think I lived to see the day that this thing would change so fast? And I'm gonna tell you, and you know, never in the history of planet Earth have anybody made the progress that African Americans have made in a 40-year period, in spite of black folk, white folk lying. Huh? This thing moving so fast, I never thought I'd see the day white folks would ask me to comment on white folks' problems. I know that. I got off the plane 3 weeks ago, and the guy had the mic. Said, Mr. Gregory, you think we'll ever catch Ben Laden? I said, we? I ain't looking for him. I'm still trying to find out who my daddy is. Young folks might not know Bob Hope, but Bob Hope died 104. 3 o'clock in the morning. AP called me. Mr. Gregory started to wake up, but Bob Hope died this morning at 3 o'clock. But can we get a comment from you? I said, I thought he'd been dead. What you say? Let me just say this. I think the Bob Hope family should get on a plane and fly to Chicago and go to Jesse Jackson's push rally and fall on their knees and kiss his feet. Because for 40 years, Jesse been yelling, keep hope alive! And it works. He lived to get 104. I saw Jesse the other day, and he said, man, now that Bob Hope's gone, I start praying for you. How you gonna say keep Dick alive? Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Don't let this fear get you. A whole lot of people gonna be losers. So what? My son got one of them, what's it called, SUV? Brand new. Cost him to fill that thing up. He just leave it on the corner with the keys in the ignition of the door. Man, am I gonna take it? Last summer, gas price go high. I got a cousin with one leg in St. Louis. That nigga got him a bicycle. So I leave you tonight and say, come a long ways. With love, kindness. The strongest two forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. You black people let somebody reduce you about family values. I am the family. I ain't never stole nobody. Ain't never enslaved nobody. Ain't never made nobody work for free for me. I am the family. I come up in a country so hateful and mean. If a white dude was caught teaching me how to read, they'd kill me. Against the law. Against the law for me to get married. I've been married to a black woman for 50 years, and some of you black folks been married for a longer time than that. And then they're going to tell you about family values. We jumped over the broom. I got 10 children. They don't have a book at Harvard, Yale, MIT, Morehouse that my children can't read from front to back. That crap didn't work. It didn't work. So somewhere, when you stop and think about this movement, thank you, NAACP. 98% of the people at the forefront of the civil rights movement had Reverend in front of their name before they had PhD. Why do you think they blew up black churches but never blew up a black whorehouse? The black church they were scared of. And that redneck, nigger-hating, thug, pimp, Ku Klux Klan mentality, he's smarter than most of you black folks. That's why he was blowing up church. He's smarter than Ford. He's smarter than General Motors. Because all of them had a Negro that they loved. They didn't like the rest of them. This is Kachi Pete's nigga. And he told all his friends how smart this nigga was. And the reason he blew up my churches, tried to kill us all, was he knew from the brilliance of this brother that they knew that if they ever get the right to vote, they'll be in the White House. They knew that. You didn't. That's why they blew up churches and killed children and gunned down white folks who they declared was nigger love. They knew who we was, and you didn't. Huh? That's why you ain't heard one of them rednecks say they were surprised. You ain't heard none of them say, oh, they just let him in because he's black. Somewhere. So thank you, black woman and black church. I didn't know how smart my wife was. Till Kobe Bryant got in that mess. Remember that white woman who was curved with rape? Y'all remember that? Kobe went and bought his old lady a $4 million yacht. You remember that? Let me tell you, my wife is so smart. If a white woman tonight accused me of raping her and I go buy her a $4 million diamond, she'll go get 2 more white ones. She got enough sense to know wherever that ring comes from, there's a matching necklace and a ring. And these youngsters, y'all might as well just leave them alone. Their heads is, y'all worrying about the drugs and stuff, but what you don't worry about, because you ain't spiritual enough to know, more Americans will die this weekend from drunken driving than will OD on hard drugs for the next 5 years. What kind of fool is you? 98% of forcible violent rape is alcohol related. 99% of the little children, 3 and 4 years old, get tampered with by these men. That's alcohol rape. You think the priest was on crack when they was ripping them boys' booty off? Alcohol. And that's why these children look at you and know what kind of fool you are. What you scared of? You women sitting in here, I don't want to know who you are. I know America. These men that jumped on you and it was alcohol whooping. But y'all all the ones that you scared of drugs. Somewhere. Some different things is on. And white folks, I say there is a difference between black and white. Because you look at that Cialis commercial and you know what's the difference. Hi there. And if you have a 4-hour erection, go to the emergency room. In my neighborhood, a 4-hour erection is considered a treat. Emergency room, go to the whole house. And that stuff be in your house. Christians. My little grandson walked up to me, 5 years old. He said, Granddad, what's an erection? I said, go ask your grandmother. Look on his face. I said, what did she say? She said, she told me she'd tell me later, but for me to tell you, she haven't seen one of them things around the house in years. All my life, I wanted to be 75 because I thought old black men was cool. And now I'm sitting here on campus reading the paper. I wish I was back in high school now. Every time I pick up the paper, I read these stories about these teachers having sex with the students. Oh, if I'd have had them type of teachers, I would have had a perfect attendance record. I see my mama now. Boy, where you going out this house with them books on Christmas Day? I'm going to school, mama. Why are you going to school on Christmas morning? Oh, I'm getting a little behind in my class. Three causes of death in America. Not homicide, not heart cancer, sugar diabetes. The number one cause of death in America, sleep deprivation. Number two, dehydration. And number three, lack of physical fitness. So y'all play your games if you want to. All three of them come from God, and all three of them are free. And the sister told me, I heard what you said, but I can't walk. I got a bad leg. Walk back. Walk the same way you walk when you be buying them lottery tickets. I see you. I said some white folks buy me some lottery tickets. So I'm honest with white folks. See, a lot of black folks believe we can't win in the city because they skip them now. I go in the rural area and get white folks tickets. The white folks said, that's not true. So he came together with bought one and won. Somewhere, black folks is very important. Thanks to the movement. We black folks is 12% of America's population. And 87% of everybody in America in kidney dialysis machines is black folks. And that don't bother you. And you ain't figured it out because you don't know God. 87% of people on kidney dialysis machines is black. Well, all y'all know somebody on them. Well, what blows your kidneys out? Fear, paranoia, anguish. What corrects it? Awareness and gentleness. That a white racist system make you son aware and so ungentle to one another. 98% of black folks, 78. Of black folks that died from cirrhosis of the liver, never had a drink of alcohol or anything like that. What caused your liver cirrhosis? Anger, rage, depression. Angry with a white racist system and won't say nothing about it. Hold it in and go to work smiling. Tears your system up. Huh? You know what it's like when you got to pee and don't pee? When you finally be stinging and burning? That'll do that when you got hatred to do. In your body. What cools out your liver? Kindness and balance. All the black folks in the black community, all the white folks you know that's kind and balanced, they don't have a problem. Huh? Lung cancer in America. More people die from lung cancer from grief, sadness, and shame than smoking cigarettes. And you heard them old black folks who say, she is grieving herself to death. Huh? Grief is a violation of God. When Superman died and his wife died 18 months later from lung cancer, everybody said, I didn't know she smoked. She didn't. She couldn't drop grief. What cools grief out? Courage, righteousness, love, and being loved. It's that simple. And the average white person can't help you because they don't know you. They think you're all happy. And I was at Colgate the other day, university, where they had the same type of fair, but it's called soul food. Yeah. And I felt so sorry for them white folks that eating that soul food. And I was honest with them. I said, now, if you're thinking the difference between black folk and white folk, about 3 hours from now, when y'all get home, you'll feel a vibration that black folks won't feel. See, white folk, you got to suspect when you go somewhere and everything on the menu is laid out and you don't see no broccoli or no cauliflower. Just fried onions and pork chops well done. I can handle that if you're going to kill it, cook it. So I told my white friends in the audience that when you go home and that soul food get to rumbling and you ain't used to it. See, black folks know what to do. They get them some baking soda and they hum. You white folks, you got that good insurance, you got that good hospitals, and the minute that thing hits you, and it's simple. You want to fart and belch at the same time, and you can't do neither, so you think it's a heart attack. So you run to Cedars-Sinai, and they give you a triple bypass before you find out it was the overcooked greens. So I leave you. If we have made a difference. And we can get through this crisis. But if you're this mean and bitter and evil and nasty now, wait for a couple of months when you find out your pension is gone. Wait till you find out when Caterpillar laid off, got fired 75 people in one day. How many of them you think was white folks? All them Wall Street boys that was making $4 or $5 million, they chauffeur makes $200,000 a year. Them little white folks you see on the floor yelling and screaming, they haven't even finished high school. They make damn near $1 million. That's over. That's over. And if you ain't got something down there other than anger and meanness, then you better have fun and have fun quick. Because when all of that hits and explode together, it's over for you. The same God you've been shucking and jiving about, that God is real and it'll take care of you, but it don't deal with you if you're scared. You come to my bank to borrow some money scared, I ain't going to give it to you. I think you ain't going to pay me back. Somewhere. Black men, 4% of America's population. 82% of prostate cancer death is black men. And that don't bother you? That don't bother you? How can you be 4%? And one of the largest countries in the world, and 82% of prostate cancer death. Because that boy didn't tell you about your memory, your brain. He just told you about your penis. And you run around believing, oh, white women want to have it. Well, if my stuff was so good, how come my lady in divorce court? Huh? What's that about? The reason your prostate death is so high, because you're trying to get your manhood through your penis. That's why you want your woman to holler, get it to shut up. But when you have an ejaculation, 500 million sperms come up out your testicles. And that God boys have them laying dormant. And that half a billion come up it goes through the prostate where they get charged with electrical charge, and not till then can they reproduce another God. And you around here having fun with something that delicate and something that brilliant because you're trying to get your manhood. You black women, you 6% of the population of America, 98% of fibroid tumors is black women. And that don't bother you. Second highest is Jewish women. Two folk with nappy hair. Why? It's bad to press your hair. I don't care what you, I'm just saying it's bad. My mama pressed her hair because her mama pressed her hair. Her mother pressed her hair because her mother pressed her hair. And that first black pressed her hair so it looked like the slave master's wife. And there's a God for us to say anytime the oppressed want to look like the oppressor, then it's over. So when my mama pressed her hair, she didn't have fibroids. You can't catch a fibroid. It's not a disease. How come y'all getting it now? Because as bad as pressing your hair is, you're using perms. And it's all the chemicals and the poison in the perm that go through your skull and gets in your body. It's called trauma. Well, you go to the hospital and get an operation and come back, but you still use it. And I just say to black folks, if you could just get honest and cuss God. Like I said, I blame everything on white folks. I can't blame this nappy hair on white folks. I can't blame this wide nose. I can't blame these lips. And I can't blame this dark. God did that, but you ain't even honest enough. You hate it, but you won't cuss it. Why don't you just say, God, you. God created the whole universe, and God ain't never done nothing wrong. So for you to think he made a mistake when he gave you nappy hair and big lips and a wide nose, just show what a fool you are and ungodly you are. But at least look like you could be honest. You won't be honest with white folks, but at least look like you should be honest with God since God made you. Huh? White folk didn't make you. Well, if I'm not honest with them, the boss made me. Just look like you would say, boss, I know you put the universe together, but you really messed up. Give me this haircut. With these lips, man, I be around all the time to tuck them in. And the way I talk. What's that about, God? Well, have you ever been to England around white folk and black folk? Them black folk in England speak the Queen's language, huh? I tell white folk, I talk bad because I learned my English from an ignorant, bad, talking, nigger-hating white boy. Go over yonder and get that bell cop, bring it over yonder. I sound like him. Be in love with yourself. Thank you, Dr. King. When the Civil Rights Bill was signed, most folks won't know about what happened for 200 years. That was the universal God working through the movement. When they signed the Civil Rights Bill, it didn't say for Negroes only. So all y'all benefit by it. 45 years ago, a white woman couldn't be a pilot on a commercial airline. Couldn't be a mechanic. All you could do, white lady, is be a stewardess. In order to be a stewardess, you had to look like something out of Playboy Centerpage. A black woman couldn't be a stewardess. A black man couldn't be a pilot. Then the Civil Rights Bill came through and didn't say for Negroes only. At any time you get on a plane today and see an old, ugly, short, fat, white stewardess, we got her that job. Not her white brother, not her daddy, not the white man. We got you that damn job. Before I movement. A white woman couldn't be a cop. Because of our movement, you had police departments now, homicide squads, all kinds of things. Not once have any thanks came out. All that old nastiness and evilness and bitterness. That's okay. Because what you got going on for me, when you look in the mirror, when you 70 and 80, you see it. Huh? The niggas on you, not on me. And what you white folks need to do one day is take down a bunch of white folks' ages and walk through the ghetto and find a black folk with the same age and see the difference. Head full of hair. Skin. Now don't go to them Negroes been tricking y'all, but they sicker than you. Stay well. Enjoy yourself. Don't get in the car to come here to hear me. To have fun on the way over here, and it don't make no difference if you get here. Go home. Wake up, tell the book you love her. Get in bed with them old ignorant looks on you. I don't care what he or she did. If you're stupid enough to stay there. Huh? The dog shit in my house. I don't like dog, but if I'm going to stay there, I'm going to clean it up. Why you want to live someplace with all that evilness and nastiness? Well, he don't say nothing back to me. She don't have to. Y'all die separate. Say well. Thank y'all.